promise you that after this episode, your distaste for governance is going to scale to new heights because, okay, so let me just bring you up to speed.
But you don't even have a sense to even look in our face. But you rather just steal our money and do what you want to do.
All right, buckle up, guys, because we're diving into some seriously wild drama straight out of Dolton, Illinois. It's all about the town's self-proclaimed super mayor, Tiffany Henyard, who's been making headlines for all the wrong reasons. And let us tell you, this story has everything: corruption accusations, blackmail, police harassment, and even a bizarre connection to none other than Donald Trump. Yeah, you heard that right. Henyard's political career is like something out of a reality show, and it's only getting messier. So, let's get into it.
It's funny, but it's also not when you're in an economy like the one that we have been in for the last 4 years, where people feel like they're getting robbed when they go to the grocery store. Like, you get 2 items.
First off, if you haven't heard about Tiffany Henyard yet, let us catch you up. Henyard became mayor of Dolton, a small town just outside of Chicago, back in 2021. And from the start, her time in office has been nothing short of chaotic. We're talking about allegations of financial mismanagement, hiring police officers as her personal bodyguards, and even shutting down local businesses that didn't fall in line with her demands. Things have gotten so bad that some people are calling her the Dolton dictator. Yeah, it's pretty intense.
South suburban politician Tiffany Henyard appears to have lost control of both governments.
So why is everyone talking about Henyard right now? Well, it all kicked off when none other than political commentator Candace Owens jumped into the mix, slamming Henyard in a recent online rant. And when Candace Owens comes for you, you know it's about to go down. Owens didn't hold back, accusing Henyard of straight up blackmailing her own citizens to stay in power. According to Owens, Henyard has been using intimidation tactics to silence anyone who dares to criticize her, and she's been harassing locals by threatening to cut off services if they don't play along with her leadership. We mean, can you imagine? A mayor basically running her town like a mob boss? It's wild. Owens didn't stop there, though. She called out Henyard's administration for what she described as a serious ethical transgression and demanded an immediate investigation into her behavior. According to Owens, multiple residents from Dolton have come forward, saying they've been pressured to keep quiet about the shady stuff going on in the local government. And honestly, it's not hard to believe, considering everything we've been hearing about Henyard lately. Owens even went as far as to say, a leader who feels the need to blackmail her supporters is not a leader at all. Oath, that's a heavy accusation, but it's exactly the kind of thing that's got people in Dolton fired up. One of the most explosive claims is that Henyard's been using the police as her own personal enforcers. Several locals have come forward, saying that Henyard's been sending officers to harass her political enemies. Can you imagine going up against the mayor and then suddenly being bombarded with tickets or having the cops show up at your business? One business owner even claimed that after he refused to cough up a political donation, his business license mysteriously got revoked. Talk about retaliation.
Henyard's landlord showed up here to see her tenant in person after she says Henyard has been dodging both her and rent payments for months.
And speaking of the police, there's even more drama surrounding Henyard's appointments. Just recently, she tried to push through some new hires, including a new police chief and a special counsel. But get this, a Cook County court straight up reversed some of those appointments, saying she didn't have the authority to make them in the first place. It's like every time Henyard turns around, she's caught up in yet another scandal or legal battle. You really can't make this stuff up. But here's where things get even weirder. In the middle of all this chaos, Henyard decided to hop on Facebook and congratulate Donald Trump on his win in the 2024 election. Yeah, you heard that right. She actually posted, "Congratulations, President Trump," and then went on to say she's got a lot of great ideas and wants to work with him. It's like, wait a minute. Didn't we just hear her being slammed for all this alleged corruption? And now she's cozying up to Trump. It feels like she's trying to align herself with him, maybe hoping it'll help her weather the storm she's in right now. It's definitely suspicious timing.
A very good time to remind you that when it comes to government spending, you simply do not hate these politicians enough, and I'm gonna show you why. Welcome to Candace.
And the timing couldn't be worse for Henyard, because not only is she dealing with all these accusations, but she's also facing eviction. Yeah, you heard us right. The mayor of Dolton, who's pulling in hundreds of thousands from taxpayer dollars, hasn't been paying her rent. According to reports, Henyard and her boyfriend Kamal Woods, who also works for the town, owe over $5,000 in back rent. Their landlord, who used to be friends with Henyard, has had enough and is taking them to court. Apparently, they've even changed the locks on the house to keep the landlord out. We mean, how messy can things get? And if you thought that was the last of it, think again. Henyard's extravagant spending hasn't just been limited to personal luxuries or those infamous Amma splurges. Reports have surfaced that she's been using taxpayer money to fund elaborate parties and events, including a Valentine's Day bash that featured live performances from R&B stars like Keek Wyatt. The price tag, a staggering $85,000, all paid for with public funds. And while Henyard partied it up with their close circle, The residents of Dolton were left wondering why their town was sinking deeper into debt. We mean, how many skating rinks and lavish parties does one small town need?
A Dolton home that she leased to Mayor Tiffany Henyard has filed eviction papers. She says Henyard has not paid her rent, and now she wants her.
What's even more shocking is that Henyard's behavior seems to have no limits. She's reportedly been using the local police department, not just as her personal security team, but also as a tool for intimidation. Former Dolton Police Chief Robert Collins even admitted that Henyard pressured him to target her political enemies, going so far as to instruct officers to issue tickets to those who dared oppose her. Imagine living in a town where the police are weaponized against you simply because you don't agree with the mayor. It's no wonder people are calling for her resignation. And this isn't just hearsay either. Henyard is currently facing multiple lawsuits, with the former police chief suing the village for wrongful termination after he refused to carry out her orders. Collins claims Henyard fired him without board approval because she suspected his wife of being friends with her political adversaries. Seriously, it's like something out of a soap opera. And with the FBI already looking into Henyard's financial dealings, it feels like it's only a matter of time before this house of cards comes crashing down.
And Micah, tonight was a special board meeting because business has not gotten done at 2 previous meetings. So that's some progress there. But this meeting was not without its fair share of tension.
And it's not like Henyard and Woods don't have the money. Between their salaries, they're raking in more than $300,000 a year. But instead of paying their rent, they've been splashing out on luxury trips, parties, and even a skating rink that only opens when Henyard's hosting an event. And get this, Henyard's spending has gotten so out of control that former Chicago Mayor Lori Lightfoot had to step in and investigate Dolton's finances. Lightfoot's report found that the town's budget went from a surplus of over $5 million to a deficit of nearly $4 million in just a couple of years. Where did all the money go? Oh, and Lightfoot also found that Henyard had spent tens of thousands of taxpayer dollars on personal items from places like Amazon and Target. One statement even showed that Henyard dropped a whopping $43,000 on Amazon in one day. We mean, come on. And speaking of taxpayer money, Henyard's also been spending big on billboards and banners plastered with her face all over town. It's like she's trying to brand herself as the ultimate super mayor, but it's really rubbing people the wrong way. In fact, one resident even compared her to Venezuelan President Nicolas Maduro, saying it's like she's trying to turn Dolton into a dictatorship. And honestly, with everything we've been hearing, that comparison doesn't feel too far off.
Now, an NBC 5 News exclusive, there is more controversy for the mayor of Dolton tonight. Apparently, when she caught workers removing banners with her picture on them, she called police.
Now, let's talk about the reactions from the people of Dolton, because they are not holding back. One person commented, "Someone send Tiffany to jail, please." While another said, the newly elected Cook County State Attorney, upon assuming office, should make Henyard the first case she refers to the Public Corruption Unit. Yeah, the frustration is real, and people are calling for action. They want to see Henyard held accountable for what's been going on in their town. And honestly, who can blame them? And here's the kicker: despite everything, Henyard still plans to run for re-election. Yep, she's gearing up for another term as mayor, despite facing an FBI investigation, accusations of corruption, and even an eviction lawsuit. She's going around saying that Dolton voters will give her their overwhelming support because they know the truth. But with all the dirt that's been coming out, it's hard to imagine anyone backing her at this point. Trustee Jason House, who's running against her, has been pretty vocal about the need for change, and it looks like the residents of Dolton might finally be ready to make that happen.
Orton Township tonight as another board meeting got canceled because of a lack of a quorum.
And that came after a disagreement about where to hold the meeting as trustees expressed concerns for their safety.
And honestly, at this point, you've got to wonder how much longer can Henyard hold on to power? With federal subpoenas flying, lawsuits piling up, and even her own police department turning against her, it feels like the walls are closing in. But then again, this is Tiffany Henyard. We're talking about the woman who dresses like a movie villain at town meetings and blares Rihanna's "Be Better, Have My Money" to make her point. She's not going down without a fight. That's for sure. All right, that's all the tea we have got for you today. But trust us, we haven't heard the last of Tiffany Henyard. This story is far from over, and we will be keeping my eye on this one as it unfolds. And what do you guys think? Is Henyard really the Dolton dictator? Or is she just a misunderstood politician trying to do her best in a tough situation? And what's up with her sudden alignment with Trump? Do you think it's a strategic move to save her political career? Let us know in the comments below, because we are dying to hear your thoughts on this one.